Inside a $13 billion aircraft carrier, how 5,000 people live at sea. 18,000 meals every day. That's what it takes to feed the crew of a Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. 400,000 gallons of fresh water produced daily from seawater. 1.6 million pounds of food delivered every 7 to 10 days by helicopter and cargo ship. The numbers sound impossible, but somewhere in the Pacific or the Atlantic or the Mediterranean, right now, a floating city of 5,000 people is making it work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for months at a time. This is what it actually takes to keep an aircraft carrier running. A Nimitz-class aircraft carrier stretches 1,092 feet, longer than the Empire State Building is tall. The flight deck covers 4.5 acres. The ship displaces approximately 100,000 tons fully loaded. The newest American carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, cost approximately $13 billion to build. It carries over 75 aircraft and generates enough electricity to power a city of 100,000 people. 2 nuclear reactors provide propulsion. They produce enough steam to accelerate 100,000 tons of steel to over 30 knots. The reactors are designed to operate for 25 years without refueling. But keeping the ship moving is the simple part. The hard part is keeping the people inside it alive and working. The carrier operates 4 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and mid-rats. That last one is for the overnight shift. It runs from midnight to 1 a.m. Approximately 114 culinary specialists work around the clock to prepare and serve those meals. On a Nimitz-class carrier, 5 separate galleys operate simultaneously. On the newer Ford-class, 2 larger conglomerate galleys handle the same volume with fewer people. The daily consumption numbers are staggering. 1,600 pounds of chicken, 160 gallons of milk, 350 pounds of lettuce, 30 cases of cereal, every single day. The galleys themselves look like industrial kitchens on steroids. Mixing bowls that hold 60 pounds of dough, pans that can cook 80 gallons of soup, grills where cooks line up over 100 pieces of meat at a time. Every 7 to 10 days, a supply ship pulls alongside and transfers between 400,000 and 1 million pounds of food. Fresh produce comes first. When the ship is far from port, canned and dried goods take over. Sailors can tell how long the carrier has been at sea by what shows up on their plates. The estimated daily cost to run these kitchens ranges from $45,000 to $65,000. An aircraft carrier produces approximately 400,000 gallons of fresh water every day. The nuclear reactors provide the power. Desalination plants convert seawater into potable water faster than the crew can use it. The process is called flash distillation. Seawater is heated under reduced pressure until it evaporates. The vapor is then condensed into pure water. The salt and minerals are left behind. This is one of the advantages of nuclear power. A conventional carrier would have to dedicate fuel to water production. A nuclear carrier has effectively unlimited energy for desalination. The engineering department runs these systems around the clock. Most of the crew working below the waterline rarely see daylight during deployment. An aircraft carrier burns through jet fuel at a staggering rate. The Ford carries approximately 3 million gallons of JP-5 aviation fuel. During sustained flight operations, that supply can drop by hundreds of thousands of gallons per day. The refueling division, Purple Shirts, manage every drop. They pump fuel from deep storage tanks through miles of piping to the flight deck. A single mistake can be catastrophic. Refueling happens constantly during flight ops. Aircraft land, taxi to a refueling station, and are back in the air within minutes. The purple shirts work in the jet blast and rotor wash, dragging hoses, connecting nozzles, pumping thousands of pounds of fuel, while the next aircraft is already rolling toward the catapult. Enlisted sailors sleep in berthing compartments. Each compartment holds between 60 and 100 people. The racks are stacked 3 high. A standard rack measures approximately 72 inches long by 26 inches wide. The headroom is roughly 22 inches. Enough to roll over, not enough to sit up. Each sailor gets a small storage bin under the mattress and an upright locker. Everything they own for 6 months has to fit in that space. The Ford-class carriers made improvements. Berthings are separated from lounges to reduce noise. Each berthing area has its own bathroom. On older carriers, sailors had to get dressed just to walk down the passageway to the head. Officers have more space. Junior officers share staterooms with 4 to 8 people. Senior officers get private or semi-private quarters. But compared to life on land, everyone is cramped. Lloyd's of London has classified the flight deck of an aircraft carrier as the most dangerous workplace on Earth. It is not hard to understand why. Aircraft launch and recover constantly during flight operations. A catapult can accelerate a 44,000-pound jet from 0 to 170 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. Arresting wires stop returning aircraft from 150 miles per hour to 0 in 350 feet. The margin for error is measured in inches. The crews working on the flight deck are organized by color. Yellow shirts are aircraft directors. They control where every aircraft moves. Blue shirts are aircraft handlers. They push and pull planes into position. Green shirts are maintenance technicians. White shirts are safety observers and quality assurance. The noise is overwhelming. Jet engines produce over 140 decibels at full power. Everyone on deck wears ear protection. Communication happens through hand signals developed over decades. On a Nimitz-class carrier, steam catapults take approximately 4 minutes to recharge between launches. The Ford-class uses an electromagnetic system called EMALS, the Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System. Instead of steam, it uses electrical currents to accelerate the shuttle. The result is faster cycle times and less stress on airframes. It is one of the reasons the Ford costs $13 billion to build. Flight operations continue around the clock during deployments. Night operations are particularly demanding. Pilots land on a moving deck, in darkness, guided by a small cluster of lights and a mirror system. The deck pitches and rolls. The runway is 600 feet long. Miss the wires, and you go off the front. When 5,000 people live at sea for 6 months, medical emergencies are inevitable. The carrier has a full hospital, operating rooms, intensive care beds, X-ray machines, a pharmacy, and a dental clinic with multiple chairs. The medical department handles everything from routine checkups to emergency surgery, appendicitis, broken bones, lacerations from flight deck accidents. If a sailor gets hurt at 2 in the morning, 1,000 miles from the nearest land, the ship's surgeons handle it. Mental health matters too. Deployment is isolating. The medical team includes counselors and psychologists. In a floating city with no escape, keeping people mentally healthy is as important as keeping them physically fit. Beyond the flight deck, a carrier operates as a self-contained city. There are 3,000 compartments spread across 25 decks. The laundry facility processes thousands of pounds of clothing every day. There are barbershops where sailors line up for haircuts between shifts. A ship store sells snacks, toiletries, and basic supplies. Approximately 3,000 jobs are represented among the crew: electricians, machinists, nuclear engineers, air traffic controllers, firefighters, police, journalists, cooks. The specializations required to operate a carrier rival those of a small municipality. The ship never shuts down. While one watch section sleeps, another works. While aircraft launch from the deck, cooks prepare the next meal. While sailors shower, the desalination plants make more water. While one team finishes a 12-hour shift, another is just starting. A deployment typically lasts 6 to 9 months. During that time, the carrier may visit a handful of ports. Many sailors spend weeks without seeing sunlight. Their entire existence is the passageways, the compartments, and the brief moments on the fan tail or sponsons where they can see the sky. An aircraft carrier is often described as a floating city. The comparison understates the complexity. Cities have infrastructure that took centuries to develop. Roads and sewers and power grids built incrementally over generations. A carrier packs all of that into a hull that has to survive combat and cross oceans. 18,000 meals, 400,000 gallons of water, over 70 aircraft, 5,000 people living in spaces smaller than a prison cell, for months at a time, miles from land. The United States operates 11 of these ships. They deploy around the world continuously, year after year. The logistics alone would be impossible without the systems and people trained to make them work. That is what $13 billion buys. Not just a warship, a machine designed to sustain human life and project power anywhere on Earth for as long as the mission requires.